Well, hey, come along with us here as we take a stop on Jekyll Island and take a look at this barrier island off the coast of Georgia. And it is the second island north on the state line, north of Cumberland, and is bordered to the north by St.simons Island. Now, it's about 7 miles long, about 1.5 miles wide, good sandy beach along the east side. And there has been a causeway reaching over to this island since the 1950s. We've been able to access Jekyll Island by automobile, and that has made it a pretty popular place. Some of the most interesting history on this island is centered around the Jekyll Island Club and the history of the ownership of Jekyll Island from the late 1800s, about 1886, up until 1942. Some of this nation's wealthiest individuals came down to winter on Jekyll Island, and they built this elaborate hotel. And then some of the other members actually built cottages on Jekyll Island, so they'd have their private retreats there, with names like Rockefeller, Morgan, and Vanderbilt. This club was limited to 100 people, and it was the most exclusive of its time. Now, the island at that time really didn't have any other people on it except for these club members when they were there, so they pretty much had to run a place for hunting, going out to the beach, just kind of enjoying the place. They had their own wharf. This was the way that the nation's wealthiest dealt with harsher climates during the winter months. They would come down south, and many of them stayed right here on Jekyll Island. Now, there is a fishing pier that is on the north end of Jekyll Island. Great place to go and watch some sunsets or take your chances casting a line out and seeing what you might catch. Biking on Jekyll Island is very popular, a lot of trails, and that gives you an opportunity to see some really interesting wildlife. Now, Jekyll Island is owned by the state of Georgia. It's got a population of just under 1,000. And if you have a home on Jekyll Island, well, you own the home, but you don't own the land. That's done through a land lease agreement with the state of Georgia. And those leases are given out on like a 99-year lease to get property over on Jekyll. Plenty of beaching opportunities on Jekyll Island, and you'll find that it is the playground of the state of Georgia. Now, there are quite a number of hotels that are on Jekyll, right along the ocean front, in addition to a pretty modern convention center. It holds quite a few folks and gives folks the opportunity to come down, take in some golf, the beach, and a convention. Great combination. Now, another popular area on Jekyll Island is the northern end of Jekyll Island on the east side, on the beach side. This is Driftwood Beach, and it is very popular for photography. Folks will come out and get family portraits here, and you never really know what you're going to see when you're out at Driftwood Beach. You see that, and what's happening here is the beach is kind of backing up a little bit, but you might even see a wedding going on. People really like coming out to visit Driftwood Beach. Well, if you're looking for an opportunity to get out to a Georgia barrier island that is still in a relative natural state, but with all the amenities of a modern beach area, I would highly recommend a visit to Jekyll Island. A lot of history there. Again, great biking, birding, beach going, beach combing. It's a very special place, and a place that I don't think will disappoint if you're looking for a little getaway. Well, hey guys, thanks for joining us here today for a look at Jekyll Island. We want to ask if you haven't done it yet, click on that subscribe link, send us some comments, but most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.